My name is Jake Leibowitz. I'm from Fairfield, Connecticut, and I'm currently a junior at New York University. My twin brother, Stephen Leibowitz, also a junior at Hofstra University, have been through a lot together. We may not look alike in the slightest, but we share a lot of the same friends and a lot of the same experiences. For our entire public school career, and then some, we were constantly bullied. This isn't meant to be a pity story, but rather to raise awareness in our community that bullying, no matter what form, is still a growing issue and the response is still the same on all sides. And sometimes the truth isn't always glamorous and pretty. Not by a long shot. 55 miles and 60 miles, respectively, northeast of New York City, lie the towns of Fairfield and Trumbull, Connecticut, home to some of the nation's top-ranked schools, safest towns, and probably the safest place to raise children. Stephen Leibowitz and CJ King, unfortunately, as well as myself, know firsthand that things are far from perfect in our towns.
My name is Ina King. I live in Trumbull, Connecticut, and my son is CJ King.
My name is CJ King. I'm from Trumbull, Connecticut, and as of right now, I'm in the Trumbull High School.
My name is Adele Jacobs, and I live in Fairfield, Connecticut, and my son is Stephen.
My name is Stephen Leibowitz. I'm from Fairfield, Connecticut. I attended Fairfield Ward High School, and I now attend Hofstra University.
I first became a victim of bullying around late second grade, I would say. Forms would be physical, picking on me, excluding me from things.
The people who really tried to intervene were my parents went to the school. They worked collaboratively with the deans to solve the issue.
I would think people targeted me specifically because I was a little strange when I was younger. I've always been a little weird. Socially, I've never really been good with other people in groups and stuff like that, so it really was easy for them to target me.
I'm not really sure the reason why people targeted me. If I was to take a guess, it would probably be that I maybe was well off than they were, or I had many more privileges than they have had in the past, or my religion. That's mostly why. I have encountered multiple anti-Semitic comments against me, whether it was Holocaust jokes or being called the K word, or finding a swastika on my locker. It was in many different forms.
We were playing outside during recess in, I think, 5th grade, and everyone was going to start playing like a football game or something, and when I walked over, everyone stopped exactly what they were doing and just stood there until I left, and then I looked over and they were playing a game like they would have normally.
The state of Connecticut recently signed a bill into law in 2011. Covers everything from an extended definition of bullying to cyberbullying, and even now covers any incident that takes place outside of the school system.
I do think that schools should have taken some type of initiative to step in before I took my own initiative, because you know what, I think the adults and the administration puts their blinders on and they don't want to believe that this is happening to students, but that moment that I stepped in, it actually became a reality for them. And I think they really needed my push, because I honestly don't think they knew where to start.
My husband and I have sat down with school officials from elementary school to middle school to the high school, and it has not netted us much. The administrators are very sympathetic. They are aware of a problem. They are really, in essence, powerless to do anything.
The meetings didn't get us very far. They seemed to be sympathetic, but they always looked for the excuse of, but what did CJ do? Or was he instigating the other person? And we really need to investigate, and they're children, and maybe you're just carrying this a little bit too far.
The reaction of every official was they would blame me for it and say it was nothing of a problem and it was just my fault.
Throughout the years when CJ was being bullied, I went to every single principal from elementary school, middle school, and even the high school, because last year was the last incident we had with him, which is in the 9th grade. I also tried to reach out to the superintendent. He didn't take our calls for a while until my husband picked up the phone and called, and finally he reached out. But once again, they claim that there's zero tolerance in the school system, but I don't find that to be so.
There was countless times that I would never really want to go to school for a day because I would encounter so much trauma from being bullied and harassed by the same people over and over and over again.
In elementary school, we were told, oh, it'll get better in middle school. In middle school, we were told, oh, it'll get better in high school. In high school, they said, oh, we don't tolerate that at all. But, oh, we can't do anything unless we witness it ourselves, which never happened.
There were 3 instances where parents of children who had bullied my son said that to me. They said my child would never do that. But I had proof. I had the proof that, there were other children who had noticed it and reported it as well. But the parents just called me up and said there is no way that my son would ever do anything like that, and your son must have done something to instigate it.
Our experience with parents of bullies is that they're not willing to accept that their children did anything wrong or could do anything wrong.
I do think that bullying has affected me too, and it's definitely changed me and shaped me into the person that I am today. Just by the number and the countless initiatives that I've put many hours towards to getting rid of bullying in our communities that I'm involved in.
It's definitely affected me as a person because of the relationships I gained in elementary school with just being bullied. I am very antisocial now. I'm not very good at socializing.
I've thought about doing something personally, especially when CJ was being bullied. I was so angry and I was sad and I just wanted to do something. I wanted to be heard. I thought of writing to the Today Show, and I thought of just writing a piece for the newspaper, but then I always put it on hold because I was afraid of what it would do to CJ if it got out there that he was bullied, and I just thought putting him out there would be worse. And so I try and keep it a secret, kind of, to try and protect your child.
There's nothing worse than watching your child's self-confidence and laughter and love get destroyed because they have been so tormented and so harassed.
Advice that I have for kids who are being bullied today: be confident with who you are. Put one foot in front of the other every day, and a promise that these days that feel like they're years will go by faster and faster, and your life will be fruitful, and you will all be successful.
I do believe that there are a lot of good people left in the world. And the one message that I would have to everybody is don't stand by. Stand up to these bullies. And bullies, we aren't going to let you win.